Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, two topics for this video. One, the Ukrainians doing the parade, the Victory Day parade in Moscow, did not attack Moscow. I think they got the memo from the Russians. If you do that, we're gonna fuck you up. I think that was the only reason, and probably attached to that was the Americans telling and the Brits telling the Ukrainians, don't do it this time. Don't do it. These guys are going to flatten you. That's the first topic, but the Ukrainians did not just watch the parade like you and I did in the middle of the night. Yes, I did a live show in the morning of the 9th, watching the 2.5 hours parade over there. Thank you very much for joining me. And the Ukrainians attacked Russia. They tried to invade again Russia 4 times during the parade. That's the second. That's the first topic. And the second topic, it seems to me, I'm just playing. No, we have some baboons in charge of us, our leaders. Most of them are average at best. And this is the case with the Danish Prime Minister. Do you know Denmark? Have you heard of Denmark? Okay, what's the population? What's the capital? How big is Denmark? How mighty is Denmark? Now, the Prime Minister of Denmark orders Putin to do something that she, the Prime Minister of Denmark, can do it faster than Putin. But she tells Putin, Denmark, Russia, to do something. And I will show you how imbecilic that statement, that order is. And then we have a new foreign minister in Deutschland über niemals, in Germany. Now, I'm glad that Annalena Baerbock, the infantile, as I call it, by evidence, her statements, the infantile foreign minister is out. But who came to replace her? Another baboon. My friends, my heart aches. I have a heart, yeah. And when I see the once mighty Germany being owned and ruled by these mediocrities. In this case, we have a new German foreign minister who traveled to Ukraine, and from the article you think that he's a real diplomat. By his face, maybe, but I will give you information on this guy that probably some of you heard of, but maybe you didn't connect the dots, who he really is. And you're gonna say, so Annalena is gone, we got the same imbecile with a different face. All right, let's start with the first topic. Russia today. Ukrainian forces attempted to breach border 4 times during Moscow's Victory Day truce. Now, this is according to the Russians. Kiev's troops have committed over 5,000 attacks during the ceasefire. And how many attacks did Russia commit? For that one, you have to ask the Ukrainians, obviously. So, the defense ministry in Moscow says Ukrainian forces have attempted 4 cross-border incursions into Russia regions of Kursk and Belgorod since the start of Moscow's 72-hour ceasefire, according to Russian defense minister. So, where is Kursk and where is Belgorod? Correct? Was it Belgorod? Yeah. Let me pull the map out right there so we get it right. And here it is. So this is the map of Ukraine, right? Let's make it great again. All right. So this is the map of Ukraine right here, including this if you want, if you don't. But how about we get rid of these guys? How about that? Success. So we have Kursk, as I said, and they had Belgorod. So Belgorod right here, Kursk over here. Right? This is Sumy, this is Kharkiv. So this, they try to penetrate 4 times over here, according to the Russians. Now, let's go to the point. I think the Ukrainians were told by their sponsors, don't do it. And I think the Ukrainians realized that if they do it, they will die. And not about the Ukrainians. Unfortunately, the Ukrainians will be caught in the crossfire because the Zelensky Steins, all of them will be in the bunker. Well, but maybe they will not escape what the Russians will send them. So, let's go to the second topic. The elites in the West, the educated elites. Here, let's start with the Danish Prime Minister. There she is. There she is. She's so proud of herself. Good job, Denmark. You screwed yourself as well. Danish Prime Minister addresses Putin. End the war. It's not that hard. Now, she must understand, even though I'm doubtful, that if NATO retreats, the war is over. So why isn't she telling the Americans to say, okay, NATO, stop. And that's the end of the war. The war. Why? That's the main point. Why the Russians are at war. Doesn't she know this? I think she knows. She was told this. She doesn't know. She was told by her advisors, I'm assuming. But she doesn't want to hear it. So she can end the war quicker. Don't address that to Putin. Address this to Americans. To NATO. And tell NATO, stop. Retreat back to 1991 borders, where you promised that you will stay, but you lied. So don't give me the, you can end the war now. So can you, even faster, and you're going to have a very long and lasting peace. All right, that's the first baboon. The second baboon is the German new foreign minister. Now, new German foreign minister arrives in Ukraine. This is his first trip. Now, this guy, he looks intellectual, right? Like a weasel with those eyes, but hey, we're not going to stereotype right now. I just did. So, Johann Wadephul, the new German foreign minister, has arrived in Ukraine for his first visit on May 9th. Excellent. So, here he says what she did. The German foreign minister, we will do what is necessary and we will continue to do what is necessary. What is necessary exactly? Concentration camps? What the fuck is necessary? See, I like when these guys are saying, do the right thing. Or, we need change. Hope and change. Well, I have many notions, many change. What do you mean? Change? What do you mean change? My change cannot coincide with your change. My hope to change something is not your hope to change from something else. Do the right thing. The right thing for me could be a little bit different than your right thing. A right thing for a criminal is different than the right thing that we think of. So these guys took united we stand. For what exactly? For a crime? When these guys are using this kind of expressions, think about what do you mean? Or progress. The progressive parties. Progressing towards what? Towards a cliff? Towards what exactly we are progressing? Towards snipping our balls, painting our hairs, nipple, whatever. Come on. What is it? So this is again talking in general terms, and we will do it as long as it takes. Do what exactly? To do what's necessary? What's necessary? Until Russia realizes that this war has no end. Hey, right here, she said there's one. It has no end. Now, this is a diplomat. Supposedly, this is a very smart guy. So until Russia realizes that this war has no end and they have to come to the negotiating table with you, and that they must now quickly and consistently respect the ceasefire, this guy said. Okay? And background, the new German Chancellor Friedrich Merz also said that he plans to visit Ukraine in the near future. Good for you. Now, that guy is the foreign minister. As a title, he's better than you and I guarantee you that. I don't think you're the foreign minister of the United States of America, are you? I mean, that would be maybe better than that. I'm not saying Lavrov is already there. So anyway. So, who is this guy? Let me show you who this guy is. And when I read this one, because I looked for something specifically in his early life, and I couldn't find it. There he is, born in February 10th, 63, paka paka, bubuku, buku, baka baka. I think the last paragraph tells us. Right? I think right here. Not the personal life. Taurus leak incident. Do you remember this one? So this diplomat, this smart guy, was fooled by two people, Vovan and Lexus. Have you heard about these guys? So in February 2025, this genius was called by Russian comedy duo Vovan and Lexus, pretending to be employees of the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. In the 20-minute call, he, the diplomat, leaked information about military support and thoughts about the possible delivery of Taurus cruise missiles. This guy, where is he? That guy. And now he is the diplomat foreign minister. When you're a foreign minister, that means you're the top diplomat of the country. That means when you go outside of Germany, or if you talk about geopolitics, you should know history, you should know military, you should know many things. You have to be charming. That guy is charming, you think? Look at him. I don't think he can sell anything to me, but anyway, that's me. So you have to have tact, you have to give and take. Sometimes you have to be aggressive, sometimes you have to be loving, sometimes you have to be together, do what's right and so much necessary and all that. And he was fooled by two baboons from Russia calling him and say, hey, my name is Tom Jones. I want to sing for you a Delilah. Okay, Tom Jones, but first please send me about $2 million. My bank account is this. Okay, I'll do it. Now that is the foreign minister of Germany. Now, can I call him from now on an infantile? Did he take Annalena Baerbock's torch of infantility or not? I think he did. I think he passed the test. Thank you very much for being with me again today. And this is our leaders. If you're a German and that guy represents you, think about it. How come these guys are there? That means your system, your system of elected officials and therefore appointing these imbeciles is rigged. Something is wrong. Democracy is supposed to elect the best people over there that would solve our problems. That is, if we are a group of people and the other group over there and say, okay, we're going to fight one another. Okay, who's the toughest guy here? You have to bring otherwise these guys are going to beat us up. So we get the best one to sending to compete against everybody else in our interest. You would pick the most capable individual, man or woman. That's it. Not in between. Man or woman, you send the best one. Is this the best one? For me, that little information, I read the whole thing. The information was like, what the hell, man? Who are these people? Remember Liz Truss, the former, again, foreign minister, so secretary of whatever you want to call her, of Great Britain at one point. She became prime minister of Great Britain. Remember when she visited Lavrov in Russia? Remember, and she was with the ambassador, the British ambassador, and Lavrov said, okay, what do you think about this region here in Russia? Should that be Russian? And he pointed to something historically Russian in Russia. And she was so idiotic, she did not know what he was talking about. But she said, no, that territory should not be yours, should be Ukraine's. She did not know what Lavrov was talking about, but she went to her imbecilic, reflexive, idiotic reaction. No. And then the ambassador, the British ambassador was like, click, click, click in her boob. And she was like, whoa. Then he was, madam, that's been always Russian. It's in Russia, will remain in Russia. So, and Lavrov was like, imbecile. So again, Liz Truss, Annalena Baerbock, remember, we're going to do a 360-degree turn, or Putin must do a 360-degree turn. She meant 190. No? Did you catch that? 980. 180. You see the same thing I say, I accuse her I'm doing. No, anyway, it's 180 and she said 360. And she is a foreign minister. All right, my friends. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong. I don't have to go to others. I can go to Blinken if you want. And I can go on and on and on with our leaders, our baboons. Remember when Scholz visited Putin in Moscow and he accused Putin that it's the first war in Europe, what's going on in Ukraine. And Putin said, what are you talking about? Did you forget 1999 Yugoslavia? In front of everybody. And that's the president of Germany. That represents the German people. I mean, you can say, well, people make mistakes. Not at that level and at that easy. I mean, in my books, maybe in yours differently, but in mine, no. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.